What's up guys, Ryan here from Mud Gunner. I hope everyone had a happy Easter. It was a pretty fun day, ate a lot of food, and got to spend time with family, which is nice. So now we're back to guns. And today I figured I want to do a video on ARs because I recently just got Larry Vicker's guide on the AR-15. I got volume 1 and 2. I've been looking through there and comparing them to guns I already had in my collection, so I figured I might as well do a video. So today I thought we would do a video on M4A1. So what is the M4A1? Well, I learned actually something new from this book that I didn't know, and maybe it was obvious, but it wasn't obvious to me. I learned that the difference between the M4 and the M4A1 was the M4 was safe, semi, or burst, and the M4A1 was safe, semi, or full auto. So I didn't know that, but I don't know that because I'm a civilian and I've never really played with a lot of full auto ARs. I mean, I've shot full auto ARs, but not like in military terms, if that makes sense. So yeah, I didn't know that one of the main differences was full auto versus burst between the M4 and the M4A1. I mean, civilian-wise, they're all just AR-15s, so yeah, it'd be nice to have an M4 or an M4A1. But what I have here is some of my clones that I've just built up over time, and I figured we'd get into them. So when you're talking clone rifles, and I'm still I would consider myself a noob. Like, I know an okay amount, but not like crazy amounts, and I don't get as into it as some other people. So I'm okay if not all my stuff is clone correct. So again, this is just my version of the stuff, but when we're talking M4A1s, you have kind of three categories right now. You have the Block 1, which normally had the front sight post and was using a Knight's Armament rail. You have the Block 2, which normally doesn't have the front sight post. I actually just put some Daniel Defense fixed iron sights on here. But the Block 2 was the Daniel Defense RIS-2 rail. That's their two-piece thick handguard. And then you kind of have a Block 3, which is also known as the URGI, which stands for Upper Receiver Group. And this one was from Geisley. So you have the Geisley rail, the Daniel Defense rail, and then the Knight's Armament rail. All right, those are going to be some of the main differences between all the different blocks of the M4A1 specifically. And then most of them, at least clone rifles wise, they're all on like 14.5-inch barrels. So these two, I mean, these are both factory Colts. Like, this is a factory Colt M4A1. I don't think it's actually a 14.5-inch barrel. I don't see any pin job on there. So I think these are both just 16-inch barrel guns. Now the Daniel Defense and this Geisley, those are both 14.5-inch barrels with pin muzzle devices to make them 16 overall. So again, it doesn't necessarily have to be exact, but if you're trying to do a decent clone, Daniel Defense and Geisley make good ones. But yeah, these are my Block 1 clones, and I do, again, have an actual Colt M4A1 stamped gun. So I don't know the exact year, but it's stamped M4A1 carbine. And yeah, this was kind of the first build I did. So it came from the factory with a Knight's Armament rail, which is nice. I got the Knight's Armament broomstick vertical grip, their rail, and then some of the rail covers spread out. And as far as lights goes, I like the old style lights, but they kind of suck for actual usability and brightness. And I like the Streamlight ProTac for an affordable light because it's bright and usable. And then optic-wise, I'm running a Aimpoint Comp M2 and the magnifier. Now this magnifier is not a flip-to-side magnifier, it twists off. So I can take it off, but I can't flip it to the side, which sucks. And then I am running a Knight's Armament rear sight on there. Loki, it's okay, buddy. I'm running a Knight's Armament rear sight on there, and it's a pretty nice setup. I enjoy it, it's accurate. I don't have a sling on this one yet. And honestly, not all my guns get slings because, like, I'll never choose this over like one of these two guns, if that makes sense. Like, I might get a sling on it just for looks, but I don't see myself using this as a defensive rifle. I do think it's okay to have some fun rifles too. And it is perfectly capable of it. I have a lot of modern builds that I would choose over this, but I do like having a light on there. So, I mean, it's fully functional as a defensive rifle if I needed to. But yeah, that's my Colt M4A1. Now, I do have another one here, and this is slightly different. So first of all, I want to say this is fake. It's just for the clone vibe as of right now, but this is a clone of my uncle's M4 that he used over in Iraq and Afghanistan. I'll show you guys some pictures. So with his, he used a Colt as well. It would also be like an M4A1, like a 14.5-inch barrel. He had a suppressor on there, OpSync suppressor. I don't have that can for it. I might do the reproduction can for it at some point, and I honestly want to do this build on another M4A1 profile gun, so it's probably not going to stay on this AR-15A3. Now this is a nice gun, it's just a heavy barrel Colt. I added the Knight's rail on there. It's actually government stamped, so it's got the restricted government use only, but yeah, on this side it's stamped AR-15A3, and it's a very nice gun, also shoots very accurate. But for my uncle's specific gun, he used a Leopold Mark IV CQT. So the nice thing about the, certain branches of the military or certain groups is you can kind of, like, there's so many different things out there. Like, when you look up clone rifles, chances are you never see a Leupold Mark IV CQT on there. Like, it's not a common optic, but he used the Leupold for most of his deployment, which is actually really cool to me because I kind of have a unique clone that not a lot of people would know about, but my uncle showed me all his pictures of it, and I sourced this one. This actually was a little bit harder to find because they don't make it anymore. You can still find them out there. Honestly, prices range from like 500 to 1,000. I got this from a friend, but yeah, this is a 1 to 3 power optic, and it's got a donut reticle in there, so it's kind of interesting. It's battery powered, it's illuminated, it's got like an amber glow on it, but it's very cool. So he had the Leupold Mark IV CQT. He was running a PEC. Now, I don't think I'll ever put a real PEC on this one just because they are very expensive and I want to use them on my more modern guns. I have this fake one on here, but I'd probably like to get a actual fake PEC 15 look-alike. This is not a PEC style. But I just threw it on there, and yeah, I want to get a fake PEC to put on here. I did source a real light, and what's cool about this light is it has an LED upgrade kit. So this is a IR lens cap, so you can run night vision. Like, you can run your light as a night vision light, but with this light, it's actually an LED light. So I mean, that's just as powerful as the Streamlight ProTech right now, but it's on the old Surefire body. So I thought that was pretty cool. I also got this from another one of my coworkers. But yeah, it has a Knights Armament rail, the broomstick, and yeah, this is just a clone of my uncle's gun. And I'm glad I was able to build something that is kind of kept in the family. So this is probably gonna get rebuilt on an M4 profile. So I do want like a 14.5-inch gun with all this furniture on there. So at that point, I don't know what I'll put on this gun. I was actually debating moving it over to this one, but I think I'm just gonna wait because we'll either get another Colt M4A1 or maybe an FN, but yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I was able to clone my uncle's gun. And then, again, those are both Block 1s. So then we move to the Block 2. And the Block 2, there's a lot of options too. So you'll see EOTechs, you'll see LCANs, you'll see a variety of stuff, but I just recently rebuilt this one because I had this Vortex 1 to 6 on here, but I took it off when I got this URGI build last week. So yeah, I got an EOTech for this one, Daniel Defense sights. I like the Cloud Defensive lights or the mod lights. So this is a Cloud Defensive Rain, and I really like it. And then I just got this vertical grip yesterday at my store. I don't know who makes it. I know it's like a nicer one, but I don't know off the top of my head who makes it. But I was just playing around with it, so I don't know if that's the actual grip. The thought behind this is you would just grab right here and run your light if you needed to. But I like having the pressure pad in front of the iron sight. Also, Daniel Defense is coming out with a front sight post M4A1. So I saw the picture of their uppers that they're going to be selling, and I'm like, I could actually build that on my current one. So yeah, they are coming out with, it's kind of like their old V1, which the V1 in their 5.56 was a front sight post gun with their slimline rail, but now they're doing it on their RIS 2 rail, so the thicker 2-piece rail. So yeah, I just did their iron sights, the EOTech, this light, and I put the script on here yesterday. I haven't shot it yet like this, but what I've done to this gun, so I bought it used. It was bone stock other than the trigger. I think this is a Timney trigger in here. It's got like the red housing. But I did a B5 aluminum trigger guard, B5 grip, B5 stock, a Radian charging handle, and safety selector, and it's their bronze color, which is pretty nice. Blue Force Gear sling, Magpul QD point up here. And yeah, I like it so far. Again, I've just been playing around with it. I haven't shot it in this configuration. I've shot the gun before with this optic on there. It's very accurate. And then I did have this one re-pin and welded with a Surefire 4-prong on there. That way I can add my RC2 suppressor. So this is a pretty nice build. And even with this EOTech and iron sights, you'll be able to see your EOTech just fine or use the iron sights if you needed to. So I like this setup and I'm excited to shoot it. And now we're on the Block 3. So again, I got this past week. I haven't shot it yet either, but I moved this Strike Eagle, not the Strike Eagle, I have the Strike Eagle too, it works good. I moved this Razor HD, which is the nicer version, from that to this, and it's on an American Defense mount. Now I do think I want to get a Geisley mount because I think that's the more appropriate one, but I really like how tall this mount is. So I like these higher mounts, and yeah, the American Defense makes a good one, but I think I'm gonna get the Geisley one just to make it a little bit more correct. I don't know if I'm gonna keep the Surefire light like this. I don't have any more pressure pads. I kind of moved them around on my gun. So when I don't have a pressure pad, I just run it on the left side. That way I can just use my thumb if I need to. And I have it kind of high so I can also still mount my Surefire can and be able to get it off. But aside from that, I mean, it's just got a Blue Force Gear sling. This one came into our store used and someone cut it and burned it a lot. They took a lot off the back end, so it's not the greatest way to attach it, but it does work. But again, I haven't shot this yet. This is on a Brownells lower. It's their BRN 16A1 lower. And it's also got a Geisley trigger, but this is a complete Geisley near clone correct upper. So it's their 14.5. It came from the factory with the pin 4-prong on there. But yeah, it's their complete upper on a Brownells lower. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Also has the B5 stock. It's got their charging handle, and I'm excited to shoot it. I know it'll shoot pretty decently. But those 4-prongs, they have that tuning fork noise. So when you rack it and when you shoot it, you just hear that tuning fork noise. But yeah, these are all my M4A1 clones. I'll also show you something cool because I was playing around and dug this out. So in this box, some of you guys might recognize this. I have a new in-box RAS rail from Knights. And this is an old military deployment one, but it's like an unissued one. So the side of the box says latest revision 99 January 1st. On the box it says 0306, so I think it was made March of 2006. But yeah, I have it new in the box. It's all oily. But basically what you get a broomstick, you get this fancy case that would be filled with all the rail panels, and I have all the rail panels kind of just out. But yeah, I used to, a couple times I bought lots of these because my buddy was ordering probably hundreds of these, and I would buy like 10 or 20 from him at a time. And he was buying them at a deal, selling them to me. I was buying them at a deal from him, selling them to other people. So yeah, I used to sell these, and I sold all but one just to have in my collection in case I ever needed it. But I regret not keeping more of these because they're actually kind of hard to get now. But yeah, there are these rails right here. So I've sourced some pre-owned ones, but I used to have like 20 of these things brand new in the box, and that was pretty cool that I had them at the time, because Knight stuff goes like up and down as far as availability goes, but it always gets hard to get at some point. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and yeah, have fun cloning some rifles because it's a lot of fun, and unfortunately it gets expensive, but it's worth it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys had a great Easter, and stay tuned for my next video.